Ciao ragazzi, today I have the privilege to meet the ex-former minister of Austria, Gernot Blümel, and now is managing director of Mare TechnoPark here in Vienna. And this project will be in Venice, in a beautiful city of Venice. Just follow me. So Mr. Blümel, Mare TechnoPark is an ambition project that brings together AE, digital health, and international research. What is the vision for this future of digital healthcare, and how do you see Mare TechnoPark contributing to that vision?
The Mare project is a really visionary project. Let me explain it like this. In 100 years from now, when children in school will learn about our times, they will not learn about who was the Chancellor of Austria or of Germany or who was President of the Commission of the European Union. They will learn that our time was the birth of artificial intelligence. So we are living in really, really interesting and exciting times. The potential of artificial intelligence is vast. Everybody agrees so. The one are saying they will terminate us all and it will be the end of mankind. And the others say that we will basically live forever because AI will solve all our problems. So maybe the reality is in between somewhere. But I believe deeply that, especially when it comes to healthcare and the medicine, AI can only do good. And what we want to contribute to with the Mare TechnoPark is to close the implementation gap that is still there between the potential of artificial intelligence and the applications in the medical sector. This is the vision of Mare.
And what do you consider to be the biggest challenge facing the digital health sector today? And how does Mare TechnoPark plan to address these challenges in this Ospedale Mare?
Well, first of all, the Ospedale al Mare is the place where we will develop the Mare Tech Park. Maybe I will tell you a little bit about the history of Ospedale al Mare. Yes. When we developed the vision of Mare with Frank Gotthard, the famous founder, an investor who is planning this Mare Tech Park. We knew that this will be a global project. We want to address the best talents from all over the world, from Tokyo to the US, from all over Europe. And therefore, we have to offer them something really special, not only in means of financials or technical stuff, but also from the location. And now just imagine we would have built this park in, I don't know, Neusiedl near Vienna. Neusiedl. A lovely place. I come from there. But nobody will want to live in Neusiedl. If you say, hey, come to us to the Mare Tech Park in Venice, everybody gets those eyes and sparkling eyes and says, oh, okay, let's try this because it's a beautiful place. Everybody knows it. So Venice is a particular interest of this vision, and it contributes to the special things that we want to do. When we had this decision taken, we looked around in the area of Venice if there are some opportunities. And there we discovered the famous Ospedale al Mare, which was a cutting-edge hospital in the 20s, 30s, and 40s of the last century. And it was a hospital until, I don't know, 30 years ago. And since then it was closed and basically has run down. And we succeeded in convincing the city of Venice and the owner, Casa Depositi e Prestiti, that we can do something special with this area. We can revive not only the heritage of the area, which is healing thousands of people, but also transforming it into the future and healing basically millions of people all over the world in the future, and contributing to the transition that Venice is undergoing now from a city with, of course, a vast historical heritage and many, many tourists towards a new renaissance, a new technical area, a new technical hub and environment in Venice directly.
And do you have also, from the European Union, support of this project? I mean, when you choose Venice, Europe, you could also go to LA or other places. Why you choose I know is a very good spot, yeah, Lido di Venezia, Venezia. But do you have also support from the European Union or from the state of Italy?
For several reasons, it was clear that we will realize this project in Europe. First of all, the founder and investor is a dedicated European, as am I. And second, it's much easier also in regulatory means to process health data in the European Union when you are within the European Union. And that is, of course, an important factor because coming back to your question before, data is key. And especially when it comes to medical data, we have to apply the highest ethical and legal standards. And that means that we have to check, recheck, and double check all the means of processing this data. And therefore, it's easier to process European data within the European Union.
And if we are talking about collaboration and partnership, you have also started recently with Compu Group Medical Italia and Mare TechnoPark. So how do you see such partnership benefit for this project?
We have talked to a lot of tech parks or innovation areas all over the world. There are quite a few. And we asked them what are the success factors for building up a successful tech area, tech environment. And they mentioned 3 key success factors. First of all, you need access to talents and academia, which is why we have already signed a memorandum of understanding with Ca' Foscari University, the famous university in Venice, having a very strong focus on data science and IT. Second, we also need housing directly on the area because many tech parks that are running very well have the problem that people who go there, talents who come there, they have no possibility to live in the surrounding, and that of course creates a problem. So we are building the possibility for around 600 people to live directly on the campus. And third, and that is the point about CGM, they said you need a strong anchor tenant who creates and starts the ecosystem. A company that is so important in the area, so large, so much gravity that it can attract other companies. And this is Compu Group Medical. It's a worldwide leading e-health company producing softwares for doctors' offices, laboratories, pharmacies, and clinics. And they have a revenue base of about 1.2 billion euros, 10,000 employees, 1.6 million professional healthcare clients, and therefore a lot of experience, market access, and of course access to data in the medical area. And this will of course be key for the success of the Mare TechnoPark.
And if we are talking about sustainability in healthcare tech, how does the Mare TechnoPark plan to integrate sustainability practices into this research and development efforts?
Sustainability is a broad concept. It's not only focusing on these environmental aspects, which we touch as well, sustainable in the sense of we will be 100% energy autonomous at the park with geothermal probes and geothermal engines, along with solar panels. We are the first project where solar panels are permitted in Venice because of heritage issues. It's a big concern. But we are working together with the famous architect Alberto Tosello, and he's a real genius, and he plans it very well. So in the energy sense, we are sustainable per definition. But also in the sense of transforming Venice into a new era of technology, a little away from the tourism focus, who everybody knows Venice because of the beauty and comes as a tourist, towards a new era of technology hub in Venice, to have a sustainability also in this sense, in workplaces and living places in this famous city of Venice. And third, sustainability in the way we apply medical data to AI engines and to applications, doing it in a very ethical, responsible way.
And I heard that you are taking part, that Mare TechnoPark will be part of the Biennale Venezia exhibition. What do you hope? What is your goal or
Now,
expectations?
this is something really special for me personally, because I was a Minister for Arts and Culture of Austria for a couple of years. And there I had the privilege to open the Austrian pavilion at the famous area in the Giardini at the Biennale di Venezia. And now the Mare project will be part of the pavilion of the Foundation for Sustainability in Venice. They have chosen a couple of projects that will transform Venice into this direction that I mentioned. And this pavilion is part of the Architectural Biennale. And therefore, I'm very proud to be there with the project during the opening on the 8th and 9th of May.
Many visitors will be very interested to see.
Yeah, hopefully.
Because you are combined with healthcare and culture, because Venice is also a culture city with many perspectives. But if you are going back to this international hub, how you can, let's say, navigate or solve the problems with all this research, scientists that will come to Venice. We know very well that Venice is not a very easy city, because there are so many. No, it's a beautiful, beautiful city.
Coming from Milan.
I'm from Milan,
okay.
But
it's different.
It's different because when I'm in Venice, I have to watch my step because there are so many people. How do you expect so many? So Venice is Venice, but to convince them.
But that's the beauty of the area. Being on the Lido of Venice is like being in a different small city, about 20,000 inhabitants on the Lido, with a lot of green areas, a lot of green space, beautiful sandy beaches on the Adriatic Sea, and at the same time you can see from your workplace the Piazza di San Marco, the Duomo di San Marco. So it's a real perfect combination. And you mustn't forget that with the Marco Polo Airport, Venice is perfectly connected to many major European and also US cities with direct flights. And if you hop into a water taxi at Marco Polo Airport, you are basically in 30 minutes at the Lido, so it's really perfect.
Yes. And Lido di Venezia is also very well known in the book I just mentioned before, Todd in Death in Venice, Thomas Mann. The actor was there for just Ospedale del Mare.
And then Ospedale al Mare.
Ospedale al Mare, sì. But a personal question, why you from finance or the culture minister, finance minister, you change in this particular part of the...
It was for a part coincidence. I was onboarded as a kind of a general manager and evangelist for the project, because as a politician you're used to giving speeches, selling ideas, fighting for new ideas to be implemented. And this corresponds very well to this visionary project of Mare. And also it caught my attention because having the possibility to work in this intersection of artificial intelligence and healthcare, two areas where there will be exponential growth, especially in Europe, in a time where usually everybody else is depressed and talking about recession, that's a real privilege.
And you as a political ex-minister, what do you think Austria can do with Italy? We have already good relations between Austria.
So many nice relations,
from the
so
history.
many historical relations. I experienced one particular funny thing in Venice when I have my appointments and meetings in Venice with officials and other people, and it comes to the question where you're from, and I say I'm from Austria, Vienna. It's always a positive reaction, and some have said, and I found this interesting, as long as you're not from France, everything is okay, because during the Napoleonic ages, obviously the French army took away a lot of arts and historical artifacts, and the Austrians didn't do that. They built the first bridge from Mestre to Venice, for example. So somehow it's a good, positive historical ambience and relation. I like that.
Yes, it's also when I'm when I met my friends in Italy and I explained, okay, I'm living in Vienna. Oh, we remember the monarchy. It was bad. But Maria Teresa supported. She created La Corte dei Conti, yeah, die Rechnungshof, ich glaube. And we still have in Italy. And Teatro La Scala and many things.
Very positive.
Trieste and
of course, nostalgic association.
Nostalgie is.
But it's really nice. So that's also a privilege coming from Austria. We are a country with a big history, but are not so globally important at the moment anymore, which can also be an advantage because we are not a threat to anybody. So basically, you are perceived quite nicely. These nice Austrian guys, medium-sized country in the middle of Europe. And this is something that is also a big privilege in coming from Austria.
Can you tell me a dream that you still have? Or a wish?
Well, my wish is...
Try wishes.
3 wishes.
If you could change, or you're a magician and say, okay, I have 3 wishes.
Wow.
In general,
it's a difficult one. First of all, luck and health for my family. I have 2 small children, and it's a pleasure seeing them growing up, and also not being a politician anymore gives me the possibility to grant them more tranquility and privacy, and I think that is very, very valuable. Second, I wish, of course, that the Mare TechnoPark will be a huge global success, and in 20 years from now will be recognized as the Silicon Valley of Europe. Mm-hmm. And maybe third, that we will use the potential of artificial intelligence in the right way for the benefit of all mankind and solve a lot of problems that we think today are unsolvable.
And which is the next step now with Mare TechnoPark?
We are in a very early stage at the moment. We are starting the first phase of the construction, so everything goes good in autumn. 2.5 years from then, we will have the first offices reopening, but we are also evaluating of renting offices in Venice at the moment already, to move the first scientists to Venice to have a ramp-up phase and not to wait until the offices are ready. So there is a lot to do, but it's a really exciting project, and I'm happy to be on board.
So, Mr. Blümel, you will be not only Viennese, you will be also Venetian. A Marco Polo from Vienna.
If they accept me like this, of course.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.